G'day guys, and welcome to this episode of Walking with Pete. Today I'm currently in the park out the front of my work. I work at the museum studying at the moment, doing my PhD, and I've just walked in from North Melbourne, a suburb in Melbourne where I live. And I thought I would do a little Walking with Pete episodes because I've been relatively lazy of late. I've been pretty lazy recently and haven't recorded any episodes, haven't put any up. I've been mainly focusing on expressions, and I recorded a whole bunch of expressions related to animals recently, as you probably noticed if you've been listening to the recent episodes on the podcast. And it's just taken me a little while to get through all of them. That's why everything's been expression. But I hope you've been enjoying those episodes. I hope they help. As I said in, I think, one of them, all those expressions are expressions that I either use regularly or that I hear regularly and understand, so other people use them in English. And I know it's pretty irritating, at least I've found in learning Portuguese and learning French, when I look up a lot of these expressions, idioms, phrases online, a lot of the time they're just stereotypes and they're not really said very often in the native language, in French or in Portuguese that I'm learning. I'll learn these phrases and think, oh my gosh, I'm really good, I'm doing well, I understand these idioms, and then I try using them and native speakers will look at me cross-eyed, they'll look at me confused and be like, what the hell is he talking about? Anyway, so that's a little long-winded answer, or a little long-winded explanation of why I picked the expressions, the idioms that I'm using. They're all idioms that I either use myself or that I hear. So any of those idioms that you learn, if you come to Australia and you use them, people are going to understand at least what you mean, or they're going to use them themselves and you're going to hear them. So don't be afraid to learn those expressions. Don't be afraid to use those expressions. I promise I'm not going to throw anything in there that's stupid or isn't used very often, if at all, just for the sake of it. So anyway, yeah, that's a little announcement about those expression episodes. I hope you're enjoying them. I hope they're useful. If you have any questions or other expressions you've heard or want explained, feel free to let me know on Facebook, and I'd love to do an episode on those expressions or questions. And that's a little segue. That leads me on to the next point that I wanted to get to in today's Walking with Pete episode. I'm thinking of doing a series called Ask Pete Anything, where you guys can ask me any kind of question or give me a subject that you would like me to make an episode on. So the main idea for this is, instead of me dictating the episode topic, instead of me choosing and deciding on the episode topic and what I talk about in that episode, you guys get to choose that. So you get to ask me a question. It can be about me, it can be about what I do, what I like, it can be about Australia, it could be about Melbourne. So it could be about anything personal with regards to me, but it can also be anything impersonal, so nothing about me, something else. It could be, what do you think of this? How do you use this in English? What does this word mean? Talk about the word philosophy for 5 minutes, What does philosophy mean to you? Do you like philosophy? It could be anything. I just want to make content that you yourselves are interested in and would like to have listening resources to practice. So, even if it's about horse riding, or it could be anything, just ask me a question and I will look it up if I don't already know a little bit about it. And I'll try and record an episode on them as soon as possible and upload it with a transcript and everything for you guys to use and practice. So yeah, the main idea behind that is just to give you guys resources that are directly chosen by you and also directly interesting to you guys, because I talk about a lot of things that I choose, but they may not necessarily be the most interesting topics. So if I can kill two birds with one stone, as we say in English, if I can create content in English for you guys to use to learn English, but I can also create content that you are directly interested in yourselves, I'll be able to kill two birds with one stone, and do two things in a single action. So that was the main other point today. It was just, I'm thinking about doing this Ask Pete Anything series, where anytime you guys have a question or a topic that you would like me to talk about, jump on Facebook, jump on the website, so www.theaussieenglishpodcast.com or www.facebook.com/The Aussie English Podcast. If you haven't already, jump on there, send me a message, send me a comment on any of the pictures or things that I upload, and give me a question or a statement that you would like me to talk about in an upcoming episode, and I will do so as soon as possible. Anyway, that was probably all I really wanted to talk about today, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.